This is Jackie, and I'm here with Shane of Silverstein at the Virginia Beach stop of Warped Tour. How many weeks in are we now? I'm kind of losing count. I'm sure you are too.
Completely lost count. We're somewhere in the middle. It's at that point where you're like, oh boy, we've done a lot and we still have a lot to go. You know what I mean? Like, kind of still waiting for my second wind.
It's Warped Tour Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, except today's Groundhog Day is a little hotter than most. So it's a sweaty one out there.
It is, but 3 days from now, you guys will release Dead Reflection.
Mm-hmm.
So something to look forward to at the end of the week. Maybe if not cooler temperatures, but at least a new album release. You've released 3 singles so far: Retrograde, Whiplash, and Ghost. How do those represent your overall sound on this album?
I think our band's pretty diverse in our sound, and I think that that's something we enjoy. We enjoy that we're able to have super heavy stuff on the same record as super poppy stuff, and also kind of everything in between. Some vibey tracks too, and I think that's a pretty good mix. There's another one we just released too, I think yesterday, called Mirror Box, which is a little bit different for us as well. So I think overall, I mean, our sound, we always try to take a natural progression between records. I don't think you're gonna ever get something like completely out of left field from our band. And this is our 8th record, so clearly we've done it a few times, and but people seem to be really excited about it so far.
And what was the game plan or the thought process behind releasing 4 singles before the album?
There really wasn't one, to be honest. I think just these days, everything's changed so much with how you roll out a record. It used to be you pretty much just did one before, kind of like as a single, and promote that as a single, and you try to get it on MTV, and you try to maybe get it on the radio. Now it's like everything's on the internet. People want to listen to things on Spotify and stuff, so I think putting out a bunch of songs before the release date just makes sense.
MTV, the good old days.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have. Too bad we don't have that as a vehicle anymore.
What's crazy is, so I'm from Canada, and we have a similar to MTV thing called Much Music, and they still play videos. I guess I didn't really know they did. And my friend called me up, and they said that they put an hour of our videos, just an hour long, and then like at 6 o'clock, in the middle of the day. They didn't even tell us they were doing that. We're like, wow, that's like, you can't buy that kind of press. No. Like, it was crazy. So I guess somewhere in the world, namely Canada, they're still playing music videos. So great.
What role do you think music videos play in 2017?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you can see what the band you like looks like. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really know anymore. I guess the thing about music videos, and I'll say this because we've made a lot of really shitty videos, a lot of terrible videos that I'm very embarrassed about. And it's because back then the technology was like way harder to make a good looking video. You had to shoot on film, which was a whole process, and very expensive. Now they have cameras that are like, geez, you could shoot a better video on your iPhone than you could the videos we made when we were at the beginning of our career. So I think that nowadays it's like, well, it's just so easy to make a video. Every band just does it. You might as well. Shit, like, you can make it look so good with very little money. Whereas, like, when we started the band, well, we've been in the band 17 years ago. I think we made our first video 14 years ago. And 14 years ago, like, it was a struggle trying to make anything that looked half decent, especially when we had I think we had $10,000 and we couldn't even make a video that looked half decent for that much money.
And so things have definitely changed as far as the music industry goes over the time period that you've been a band. What role do you feel streaming sites like Spotify have, especially with an upcoming album?
It's just technology. It's just the way music is delivered to people's changed, and it's fine. Like, you can't fight it. You have to accept it and embrace it and do your best to work with what's out there. I mean, we come from a time when we started our band. I'm going to sound so old, but like, bands didn't have websites. Like, right. They didn't have websites, let alone social media. Like, email was like the only technology we used back then when we started. So, now it's you just embrace it. It's like pretty rad that somebody can pay $8 or $10, whatever it is, a month, and listen to virtually everything. Like, when I was a kid and I heard about a punk band or something, I remember I heard about this band Crass, because all my favorite bands were talking about them in interviews. So I went to the store, I bought the CD import of a Crass CD. It was like $24.99, and I got it home and I was like, I hated it. I just wasted my whole allowance for 2 weeks on this record, and that's what you had to do. So I think it's awesome, man. Now it's like $10 a month, and you just, geez, that's my allowance for 1 week. I can listen to all the music I want, you know? So I think that's a great thing, and, you know, I think having that is amazing. So we just hope people listen to our band and, you know, and hopefully come to our shows when they like our tunes.
I think that might be one of the hopes, is that the crossover is, yeah, album sales aren't going to be what they're going to be, but if you come back and you buy a T-shirt, you buy a poster. Some kids do end up buying the tangible album or going to a concert. So I hope on the sort of the end around it works out. But speaking of sort of since back in the day, how do you feel Dead Reflection is an evolution of sound from When Broken is Easily Fixed?
Oh, well, big time, you know, but it's like,
time is gone.
But you know, it's like evolution's a good word for it, you know, because you think of the whole, and I'm not a scientist really, but like, you know, the whole amoeba to man theory. You know, there's a few you know, evolutions along the way, and that's what's happened with our band. I think if you listen to the new album number 8, and you listen to album number 1, you'd be like, whoa, like, but there were steps between, you know, to turn the amoeba into an ant, and the ant into a frog, and the frog, and I know that's not really how it
But
works,
that's a great analogy. I like that.
Yeah, you know, so it's a series of smaller steps, and I think that along this, you know, the road since our first record was 2003, I think that it's made sense. You know, the progression's made sense, and that's part of why we've kept our fans, because we haven't done anything like super crazy to alienate our fans over our career.
You guys have been together for a while. What do you attribute to your band's longevity?
We don't give each other a hard time. We like, you know, if something happens, like someone's guitar breaks or fucking someone plays the wrong part, we don't have a blow up about it. We just say, hey, like, shake it off and you'll get them next time. And like, we've never been a band that freaks out or takes ourselves too seriously. And you know, at the end of the day, like, we still do this band for the same reason as when we started, which is to have fun. You know, it's just now it's obviously become our job too, and our career, and the way we make money. So, but you know, there's better ways to make money than playing in a band. So obviously, it's not just about that. So for us, it's just about having fun, and I think that at the root of everything, that's what we're trying to do. I don't know why we're on Warped Tour, but
well, that was going to be my next question. Are you reading off my card? Your vision is really astounding.
No,
I was going to say,
reading,
why do you Warped Tour this year?
Well, Warped Tour is fun for us, though. I mean, like I make fun of it a little bit, how it's super hot, and like you don't know what time you're playing, and it's kind of a pain in the ass, and you got to come to the press room and see Danielle, and she's like, "You're late."
It's tough.
You gave me a hard time for being late yesterday. But you know, no. But at the end of the day, like, we're here because people come out in droves, and like, you know, certain cities, I think Warped Tour is kind of the biggest show of the year. Like, you know, like Scranton yesterday. We don't play Scranton very often, if ever. I think the last time we played Scranton was probably Warped Tour. So, you know, people come out, and it's their only chance to see us, and we have an amazing show. So it's worth it for that, and obviously having fun. We're hanging out with our friends and making sangria, and you know, just chilling behind the trailer. And
Nice.
it's a good time. So, you know, I think that's why we do it, and I think it is good for our band.
Speaking of getting festive, arrivals and departures, 10-year anniversary. Where do you see your band 10 years from now?
Jeez, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be 46 years old in 10 years. Like, if I'm still doing this, Jesus. I don't know. We started calling ourselves the Bad Religion of Screamo, and it's not bad, right? So I don't know. 40, like in 10 years, we'll really be the Bad Religion of Screamo. Jeez, I'm already getting like these gray hairs.
Oh, no.
Like, look at this right here. Do that.
I'm not
All these
going
gray
to
hairs.
challenge you on this. You know what day it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to challenge you.
Yeah.
What's up for the rest of this year?
Well, we're finishing this up, new record, and then touring Canada, Europe, Australia, USA again, and then so pretty much the world.
So you're going to be busy, more gray hairs.
Is that where the gray hairs come from? I think they
I'm
just
not
come from age.
I think they're from Danielle.
Maybe some stress. Yeah, you're late.
Well, make sure you pick up Dead Reflection from Silverstein. This is Jackie. Thanks to Chorus FM and One Avenue.